And our final guest today with the Wilson County Sheriff's Office is Debbie Pare and Sergeant Don Witherspoon. You guys are here today to talk about S.C.A.N, which is the Senior Citizens Awareness Network, and this is a good time of year to start talking about it because we're getting ready to head into the summer months. Tell me a little bit about the program.
The program is approximately 19 years old. We're coming up on 19 years. It's a volunteer-based program through the Sheriff's Department where volunteers go out and check on our seniors in the community, making sure that they have the necessities of life. We have right now 31 volunteers. Debbie is the director of those volunteers to go out and check on those seniors.
Making sure they have adequate food,
yes,
shelter,
basic needs of life. And in some cases they have those already, but the visit from the volunteers is very important. Right. We see that a lot when we talk about the program, that the volunteers are the most important, the visits are the most important thing that the volunteers do. Especially
for someone who may be shut in and can't get out. This might be the only contact they have with someone. Right. Okay, so tell us how people would learn more about this program if they know someone that needs to be part of it. How do you sign up? How do people sign up for the service?
I'll let Debbie address that.
We are, as you see, with our uniforms connected to the Wilson County Sheriff's Office, so we can always be reached through the Sheriff's Office. We have our own extension, would be extension 499. So if someone was interested or had a concern or a question about a senior out in the community that they're concerned about or aware of that may have needs, they can always reach us through the Sheriff's Office. We are in and out of that office, as you might imagine, because we are physically out in the community making home visits and checking on folks, but that is the way to reach us.
Now, are you especially busy in the winter and in the summer months? Is that usually?
You know, it's consistent pretty much all year round. Of course, in the heat of the summer, we have cooling needs. In the dead of winter, we are addressing heating needs. So consistently across the board, we stay really busy. We also attend to food needs and transportation needs. So it keeps us busy all year round.
Well, and our senior population is exploding, it seems
is.
like. So.
And we're fortunate in Wilson County that 19 years ago, Sheriff Ash had a vision to kind of put a program in place.
How did this start too? You said 19 years. How did he come up with this idea?
There was a gentleman out in the community that the officers got a call to go and check on. When they arrived, they found that he had passed away, unfortunately, and that he had not been on anybody's radar. And it kind of was an awakening of, you know, this is bad. We don't want this to happen. What can we do to help prevent this? And there was a S.C.A.N program in Knoxville. So they sent some folks to Knoxville and kind of learned about how they organized their program, and they brought it back. And with the help of, at that time, UMC Hospital and Leadership Wilson, they kind of started the program up and got it running, got it off the ground. And so 19 years later, here we are still doing that kind of work.
Now, how many volunteers? You said 31 volunteers. How many did you start with?
Well, I've been with the program 10 years, and when I came 10 years ago, I was volunteer number 5.
Oh, wow.
So that can tell you the growth that we've seen. And a lot of that growth has been in response to just our community support and knowing what we're doing, helping us do that, being strong community partners for us.
How can people help? You have a lot of volunteers. Do you need more? Do you need donations? I know you said you help with food, with transportation.
We do. We're always looking for volunteers. The more people we serve is totally dependent on the number of volunteers that we have. We can't take on more than we can service well, so the more volunteers just help extends our reach. Nothing we ever do for anybody costs anything.
Right.
So any funding, most of our funding is private. We do get some grants, and of course we are part of the Sheriff's Department budget in part. So we are, that assists us as well.
Okay. And so if somebody is part of the S.C.A.N network, they have a little sticker. I've seen those on doors before. What does that entail? Like, if they're part of the system, do you have periodic checks on?
We do.
Okay.
Our volunteers see them on a regular basis. We kind of have a rotating schedule where we see them. We don't have enough volunteers to see everybody every week.
Right.
But the stickers on the door is just kind of an outward indication that they are a part of our program. And that helps us because, say for instance, they had an emergency and WEMA may have responded. Then WEMA's really good about calling us and saying, hey, you know, you guys may want to do an extra check out there. So it's kind of an outward symbol that this person is part of our program.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you have something you talk about too is anti-crime tips with the
I'll
person.
let Dawn address that.
We feel that the S.C.A.N cars being in the driveway on a regular basis is a very outward sign that the Sheriff's Department's checking on these people. Is a security thing for those cars to be in there, and the uniformed officers going and coming on a regular basis. And we do talk about the scams that are going at this time, keep them abreast of those scams, and try to keep them from being a victim of them. We've had a couple that fell victim to some of the scams that are out right now, and so we try to keep them up on that and talk to them about what's out there.
A lot of people are falling victim to those scams, so I can imagine. And if there's someone out there that can donate for heat or air conditioning, do they come to you? Do they call you guys if you have? Okay.
They call the Sheriff's Department, they transfer them to our phone, and we've got great community partners in Wilson County. We can't do this alone.
Right.
And we've had very good support. We talk about it all the time, how great our support is from the community partners.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you need volunteers. So how, if tell us where we would go, who we would call, website to go to volunteer or donate.
We are part of the Sheriff's Office website, so you can go there and there's a little tab for S.C.A.N. We also have a Facebook page that's brand new.
Oh.
So you can also reach us through our Facebook page. But the process would be to fill out an application first. All of our volunteers go through the same background checks the deputies go through, which is a very important aspect in what we do in sending people into other people's homes. So that's the first step. And then once they complete that application process, and then we begin training.
Right. And how long does the training usually take?
Usually the training lasts about 3 weeks. What we actually do is have them ride along with our seasoned volunteers so they can get a up close and personal look at kind of what we do, and make sure before we spend the money to provide a uniform that that's something that they can commit some time to.
That's great. Well, I know that this is such a good program for the community. My father is 79, so I mean, anytime you see anyone like that that's elderly, you want to make sure they're being checked on. I can't imagine not having anybody coming in to check on them. So I'm so glad that you guys do that. And again, you can log onto your website. You have a Facebook page.
We do.
And if you want to volunteer, you can call them or
Absolutely.
log onto the
We're
website.
always looking for volunteers.
They need community involvement's big.
That's it.
Thank you so much for being here, guys.
Thank you
I really
for having
appreciate
us.
it.
Thank you.
Now,